He's back. What's going on, boxing fans? It's Backchat TV, and we're just catching up on a fight that just happened a few hours ago now, actually. Alen Babic versus a Polish undefeated fighter, Rosanski, I think his name is. I've seen him fight once. He actually knocked out Arthur Spilko, the guy that Deontay Wilder famously knocked out, and he's actually quite a tough guy, but unknown prospect, definitely. Has only fought in Poland, I believe, so this was going to be maybe a walk in the park for Babic, but it was anything but a walk in the park for Babic. The guy was really tough. This was also Alen Babic's debut at Bridgerweight as well, I believe. And before I get into a fight, I've heard a lot of people complaining that, why are we having these new weight classes? And, I don't know why people are complaining, first of all. I think that it promotes the sport of boxing more. It allows more talent to come into boxing. If you've got more weight classes, you're going to encourage more talent. And also, I think for health reasons, it's good because you're creating more weight classes, so less people have to kill themselves to make weight, and kind of force themselves to get into a division that's not natural for their body. And that's only a good thing. You're going to stop the life-threatening injuries because of people weight cutting too much. So I'm all for new weight classes. I think there should be. I'm really in favour of this Bridgerweight, because if you look at the cruiserweight division, and you look at the gap between the cruiserweight division and today's 6'6", 18, 19, 20 stone men, there's a huge difference. So there obviously needs to be a bridge between that. Bridgerweight, perfect weight. I don't see what the problem is that some people complaining, and I'm all for new weight classes in the lower divisions as well. Just the more weight classes, the better. Because if you think about it, if you want a sport to grow, one of the things that you do is to open it up to more people, and more weight classes makes it fairer. So I don't see what the problem is. Anyway, I'm going to get on to this fight. I actually like Alen Babic, and I love watching him. I think he's a fan favourite fighter. Even if you think he doesn't have much skills and hardly any defense, you don't really go to see him for that. You go to see him for, coming forward, throwing big hooks, and I just love watching him fight. He's character. He's really an exciting fighter. So I was excited to see him in his what I think is his debut at this new Bridgerweight. And I like the fact because he did well at heavyweight, but you could see the writing was on the wall for him. If he was to step up in class at heavyweight, he would just end up getting hurt quite badly. So I think that it seemed to be a good move for him to go to this Bridgerweight, which I thought would be his perfect weight class. And the first round, he ended up getting completely destroyed. He didn't look great. I mean, he looked visibly slimmer, obviously, having to make a new weight class, and it seemed to show in his performance. I don't know. I think there's a new trainer involved. Tried to get him to box more, because in his last couple of fights, although he won, he got hit quite a lot of times, and so they're trying to get him to box more. And that didn't work against this guy. Didn't work at all. It didn't work at all. The guy he was fighting seemed to have faster hands. He was very quick, actually, for a fairly big man, and was hitting hard. And he came out like the way we normally see Babic come out. And that was quite a shock. I didn't think someone could just destroy him in the first round. But then at the same time, I wasn't completely shocked, because Babic has never had the best defense, and his defense was even worse in this fight. He was completely open, never put his hands up, never tried to clinch or anything. I don't think he had a chance. This guy was actually really tough guy, strong, very quick hands, made light work of Babic. Babic got clipped with something early that looked kind of innocuous, but it seemed to hurt him quite badly. He seemed to be a bit stunned, and then he took a few more shots, and he went down, and then he got up, but he was visibly a bit shaken, and then he just took more shots and went down. Again, I think it was the referee just called it off, and I think it was a good stoppage. He was only going to get beaten worse. He seems to be a few steps behind in hand speed, and definitely hand speed. He seemed slower, even though he'd lost weight. Where does Babic go from here? I don't know. Does he continue at this weight class? I'm not sure. I can't get a good estimation on how good he is at this weight class because he looked weak. He looked slow. His punches looked slow. He looked weak, and his punch resistance seemed to have completely gone. You know, is this because he was weight drained? Did he have an issue actually making weight this time, where he'd been so used to not making weight when he had to be a heavyweight? I really don't know. But this devastating defeat is not going to do much for his confidence at bridgerweight. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes straight back up to heavyweight. But again, he's kind of in a very precarious situation at the moment. I suppose the only good thing you could say is that he's still unbeaten at heavyweight, which is, for what it's worth, I don't know. But this was a terrible performance. But if he did want to get confidence from something, it would be the fact that he could at least say, you know, oh, you know, I didn't make the weight properly coming to this bridgerweight. I need time to get used to it coming down from heavyweight. So there is a possibility of some kind of plausible excuse. Moving on to another fight. Martin Bakole also fought on this card. He won in the third round, I believe it was. From the second round, he seemed to have the better of the guy he was fighting. And after that, he kind of dropped his hands, Bakole, because I don't think he respected the power of the other guy he was fighting. Despite the other guy's name being named the Hulk, he didn't really have any power. And Bakole stopped him pretty easily. He's now calling out the top guys in the heavyweight division, and I'd like to see him mix it up, to be honest. I like Bakole. I think he's a solid opponent, and I think he's a good all-round fighter. I'd like to see him mix it up. I think he could beat people like Dillian Whyte and those kind of people that kind of gatekeepers now. Dillian Whyte is kind of moving into a gatekeeper position, if you know what I mean. So I think Bakole could beat some top fighters. So I'd like to see him get a chance at some of these top heavyweights. We just seen Joe Joyce lose a fight that we thought he would win. I'd like to see him mix it up with a couple of these guys. Let me know what you think anyway about some of these views in the comments. I'm on to the next one. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment, express your views, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.